my temple, your tears rinse my feet. I walk out, I'm able to carry your peace. It reminds me of a song that I heard long ago. Maybe I've always known that you were right there. A simple melody playing over and over in my dreams, but somehow out of reach, eluding me until I release. You come close to me when I release, and I let you take the lead when I release. My heart starts to see when I release. When I release, you said, come to my garden, eat from my tree, step in my river, let it take you deep. Your heart is my temple, your tears rinse my feet. You walk out, you're able to carry my peace. It's an ancient sound heard from the ones who came before. Now it's here once more to pierce your soul. A simple melody playing over and over in your streets, like a whirlwind burning things, tearing up the dark. That's where I release, and my heart starts to sing when I release. I let you take the lead when I release. You come close to me when I release. When I release, it's all in your feelings. It's all how I receive your sound. All in your feelings, your emotions, they find me out. It's all in your feelings. It's all how I receive your sound. All in your feelings, your emotions, they find me out. When I let it go, when I let it go, when I let it go, I let it all go now. I let it go, hey, now I let it go, whoa, I let it go, whoa, I let it all go now. Oh,
What's up, everybody? We are live, episode 118 of the Young Lion TV podcast.
118.
We in the building. We're gonna talk about.
Things.
Obsession with judging shows. You're watching Young Lion TV.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
Yes, sir. We're in here, True Sound Studios, Camden, New Jersey. I got Moan with me right here. You are not your fear. Representing for our people's joy and peace. Joy Ike, that's her name of one of her songs, right?
No, that was the name of her album.
Her album, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Come on, get it right.
I got Stan with me over here. Jake over here, of course, in the building. And we got John holding it down on the production tip with the, what's that? A Jurassic Park shirt. I thought that was Thundercats for a second. Stan sounds like he's muted.
Yeah, he does.
All lines are open.
Something ain't right.
He was on.
No, it's
No,
we're
it's not
not
you.
hearing you. Just try make sure his channel is going to the main.
It was fine earlier.
Yeah, just make sure his mic is going to the main output, John. At the bottom, the black button at the bottom of the channel. Yeah? Do you, when he talks, do you see the
No, it's a signal.
try to unplug his cable and plug it back in? All right, I'm here. So we got his channel is up.
Yeah.
There we go.
Check. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There we go. He's in the game. All
Put
right.
me in, coach.
What's that shirt you got on? South Jersey Shooting Club.
Shooting club. that's my range.
That's the range you go to?
That's the range I go to.
Yes, dude.
That's the
Going to the
It's
ranges.
down in Winslow Township.
last
okay.
time I went with Stan. There was this. Remember that there was this. Yo, I swear he was younger than Noah. He was 10 years old. You know how there's like a. It was pretty far. I don't know how far it was.
Yeah, probably. I think the 100 or 50 yard.
Yeah,
range.
but he had like this little shotgun, and he was just hitting it. It's like a little metal piece in the middle of it. It's like that big, right? Little metal piece, and it spins when you're hitting. He was just like.
every time he fired it,
I was like, oh my goodness,
Making y'all look like
me-
amateurs.
making me look bad while I got my little 9.
looking at you like you playing games.
We got a comment here from Kelvin Badger. Said, wasn't there 4 members? Well, technically there was 5 members, then 4 members, and now there is. Well, I mean, it's different. There's the 3 of us still from the original
Right.
group, but now we're more of like a band organization
Now we
situation. So we have a bunch of different things
have a
working.
lot of
Stan is
members.
a member. Stan is a member. Stan is a member of the Young Lions,
Yeah.
and he's a member of the organization. John is a member as well. You know, you can become a member. Speaking of members, if you guys want to support what we're doing, slide over to your yeah.
Looked like he was a little out of.
If you guys want to support what we're doing, what we talk about here, what we're trying to build with this Young Lion Kingdom, this pride that we got going on, which is a community of like-minded people that share in the same beliefs. A lot of it is based off of family, following Jesus Christ, and the values that we all hold dear. You can become a member on our Patreon, and you can sign up and subscribe on there. There's a bunch of different tiers, 4 different tiers. Jake said 3 last week, but we ain't going, we ain't going to hold him. There's 4 different tiers. If you want to subscribe on there, or you can just donate on there as well. You also can donate on our Cash App, which is $Young Lion TV on Cash App. And you can just support the cause. We got a bunch of people signing up. We appreciate each and every one of you. Our boy Baruch signed up to become a member.
Nice.
We got to get him on the show.
Yeah, we got to bring him on, man.
I haven't seen him in a while, man.
Yeah.
Has he been out at soccer?
He hasn't really been at soccer, but because
Kids.
He got
no,
kids.
he hurt. He got hurt.
Oh.
The kids won. He got 2 babies now, and you saw the video of his son dancing to "Whoa, Darling." Did you see that video?
Not.
He didn't see.
You didn't see that?
No.
He sent that to us.
He
on our
posted it on
Instagram.
our Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his son. He says his son's favorite song. He plays it on repeat.
That's what's
So
up.
that's cool. So he sent us a video of his son dancing to "Whoa, Darling." But yeah, we ran into him at a party with the soccer guys. We were all at one of the soccer guys' house, and we were all hanging out, and he came through. And
One of the soccer guy's house.
Yeah, people don't know him.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah,
Mike Suarez.
Mike Suarez.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known him if he said his name.
Yeah,
I know.
but you know him. You'll know him by face.
Yeah.
But we were all at his house. Baruch came through, and we were talking. He was talking about the podcast, how he watches it and stuff like that. We're like, man, you got to sign up on Patreon. So he did. And you know what's funny is like 2 days after that, me and Liz went to go eat at Mount Masala. Just like, just real quick, grab dinner. And, who do I see standing there waiting for his food? Because he told me at the party, like, dude, I go there all the time. Because I told him about that place. And he loves it, so he goes there all the time. So when we pull up, he was there. And then he gave us a bottle. We were like, oh, we forgot to bring wine. BY will be there.
Oh, okay.
He gave us a bottle of wine in his car. So he's just a real cool dude.
Nice.
Shout out to him. But yeah, so... you can support that way. And also, you can go to our website, jatan.com, if you want to hear all of our latest music and get the merch.
You're wearing it.
I got the merch on right here.
Yeah.
That is the Patreon. But, there you go. Bam. That's the cover, the beautiful cover that Simone made for our latest song called Darling.
Joint's hot, yeah.
Yeah, and all of our latest music is on there. You can check all that out. And subscribe on YouTube, man. We need people to start subscribing on the YouTube channel. We're trying to get the YouTube really popping because most of the traction comes on Facebook. So if we can get everybody on YouTube,
Are we on Rumble? Or
we're not
yet?
on Rumble.
Not yet.
You can't live stream on there.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, they're still.
we're
building
live
out,
streaming
so.
on Twitch though too. Shout out to we've been slowly building some subscribers on Twitch, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because we just literally just stream on there and don't engage at all. So shout out to if you're watching on Twitch, we need to get it cracking on there. What else?
Show?
Yeah, if you're watching right now, thank you for tuning in. Please drop a comment, say hello. Please share the video. Please hit the like button. All that stuff just helps us because the YouTube and the Facebook algorithm do not like what we talk about.
Not when you talk about substance.
Yeah. and
They
the stuff,
totally. YouTube took our last week's video down.
yeah. Last week
They said if you trim it.
it got taken down for They used copyright as the reason.
Yeah,
For
but
what? Like what do we play?
When y'all were talking about Dark Water, the movie.
yeah,
Oh,
the movie.
okay.
But the thing is, it's from YouTube.
Yeah, the clips y'all were playing are the movie on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
But
So they're
So that's-
censoring
that's-
themselves.
it's
their-
because of what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so that's it. So
Let's talk about our show on
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
our
yeah.
first show.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Talk about
Saturday.
it. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, you talk
Let the
about it
people
because
know.
I'm actually putting it in.
Nice.
Oh, okay. So this Saturday, July 31st, is our first show
Yeah.
back from the pandemic, and we're excited to play in front of people. People have been asking about tickets. I think James is coming.
Nice.
So it's going to be at the Gathering Place in Germantown, Philadelphia.
Nice intimate spot.
Yeah, very cool spot. We played there before. It's actually the home of Peace, and Peace lives there, right? I don't think.
I don't think Joy.
Yeah, Peace, Ike, Joy and Peace are sisters that we do a lot of shows with, and we kick it with a lot. They're going to be on the podcast soon as well as guests. But the show is July 31st. Doors open at 6:30. You can get tickets on Eventbrite. There's a link on all of our social media. We've been posting it up. Jake's going to put it up in the chat right now if you want tickets for the show. And it's not a big room. It's kind of like one of these house shows a lot of people have been doing. So,
I guess you can't.
Make sure you get the tickets. Yeah, you can post a link in there.
No, I'm trying to press enter to go down, and it just no.
Shout out to Stephanie Halam, who said she shared the stream. We really appreciate that. She's also one of the Patreon members, I believe. I'm pretty sure you signed up on Patreon. I remember seeing that.
Yeah. Medallia.
Medallia's watching. Medallia is a Lion King level supporter right there.
Lioness.
Yeah,
that's her name on there.
Dahlia the Lioness. That's what's
Lioness.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, shout out to Medallia, one of our biggest supporters and a part of our church, and just a prayer warrior herself.
So yeah, I just sent those tickets. Sent the link.
All right, the link for the tickets is up in the chat if you wanna come to the show. Medallia said hi.
Just clicked
Cool.
it and it worked.
Hey,
All
Medallia.
right, perfect. All right, so moving on. So, first of all, do I look a little tanner, guys? Like,
A little bit,
little bit.
not too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so
Look
white.
like
You don't look too different.
I was
Yeah.
in the sun a lot, man. Yeah. The kids,
You definitely got some color.
the kids got really dark.
Yeah.
Like Arya looks like a little Indian kid, and at least is looking like an Aborigine. But yeah, they had a great time. We
is that racist?
Nope.
what? Why is it racist?
Nah, play it.
Just the
You know how
description.
they you know how they do nowadays.
Yeah, everything is.
Yeah.
You had a lot of fun.
It looks fun.
Seemed like
Looks fun.
Yeah, man, it was a lot. It was a lot of fun just being with the kids and the family. Being away for a little bit. I didn't engage with social media. I didn't engage with. I wasn't on Twitter one time. You know what I mean? Like I just totally unplugged from everything and just being in the sun just feels refreshing. You know what I'm saying? Like when you just sit in the sun for a while and just soak it in and like soak in nature and like you're on the beach, on a beautiful beach,
That natural
palm trees.
energy, man.
Yeah, man.
And vitamin D.
There's something about that. Like there's something about seeing like God's beauty. Like when we were in Shell Ha, like that place is so beautiful. Not let alone it was fun because of all the stuff they built in there, but just being there and seeing like the fish and the dolphins and just the nature of it, because a lot of that park you have to walk a lot to get to different spots and you're walking literally through jungle. You know what I mean? Like they have these pathways, but like there's iguanas crossing the street. There's there's all kinds of animals in there. Parrots. I was taking a bunch of pictures, but
yeah, we saw all of them.
but yeah, it was cool, man. It was fun. Shout out to Ariana. So now that you're doing shows again, when can you come out my way? LOL.
We are your way.
She always says
You
that.
are.
a little
You're
bit.
not even that far.
Yeah, she never wants to drive further than if we don't play like around Atlantic City area. Yeah. This show's in Philly. It's not that far. You could come.
It's like 40 minutes.
Yeah, from here.
Mom said hi, guys. What's up, Mom?
Hey.
But yeah, so it's good to be back though too. Like, you go away. I know you know this too, Jake. Like you go away, but after a while you want to be home. You want to get back to everything, and
Yeah, it's good to go away.
But
definitely,
especially
And
when
for
you
me, I
when you
didn't
have a
my kids.
purpose. Yeah, that's even different. Like you want to see your kids.
Yeah,
But I felt like, especially like towards the end, the last couple of days, like all right, I'm ready to get back on
Right.
what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I can't sit around for too long.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is good to spend that time. Like for me, it was good to spend that time with my wife.
Yeah.
Spending time with your family,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you take things for granted that you don't realize you're taking for granted.
Yeah, for sure. And I got to teach Arya how to swim, so that was good. So now I don't got to worry about either one of them in the water. You know,
Good.
That was cool too. But next time, man, we got to all go somewhere together.
Yeah.
Man. We got to do it
I'm
together.
with it.
John.
I say that spot, man. I want to go to that spot.
Which one?
The one you went, the resort that you stayed at.
Oh yeah, man, that's a great one.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like,
Just because when we went, we didn't get to experience that.
yeah, it's just like so much more there.
Right.
Because the area, like Cancun is cool because it's like, it's cool. I see it like Cancun is for the young people because it's like the strip is there and also like that's where they party. So if that's what you're there for, that makes sense. But like in the Riviera Mayas, it's like everything is more spread out. The resorts are bigger. You know what I mean? So it's not, you're not cramped in to this tight little space. So like even though the resort was still busy, there was a lot of people there. It never felt crowded ever. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit better.
I'm there for the all-inclusiveness.
Yeah, that is always nice.
Yeah.
Like there's something,
To do it.
especially like I was telling Jake this too, like, cause like if we all went to Puerto Rico, it's fun. I think it would be good if we didn't have to bring our kids,
Right.
Because then you have to like find them food all the time, and you got to make sure they're good or they're not bored. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you go to the resort, like there's food everywhere,
Right.
24/7, drinks 24/7, and
They're
tons of stuff for them to
entertained.
do. Yeah. So you never
Even
have
if
to-
we pile in a room,
yeah,
they can just have fun. by
Yep.
themselves with
exactly.
Each other.
Exactly. Yeah. So
So what do you got for us today, Jamie?
what I got is, hold on. Stephanie said, my nearest Walmart is 45 minutes. You can do it.
Little
Yeah,
encouragement.
Stephanie, tell her.
That's right. That's right. Come to our show.
Let her know.
All right. So first thing I want to play out is this video, just because I thought this was cool. I saw this on Twitter. It was a clip of Tom Brady. You saw that?
With the Joe Biden.
No.
hold on, let's see.
No.
what
I
are you
didn't
talking
see.
about?
Well, the speech that he gave
You saw this one?
at the White House.
Like, because there's levels to like skill. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like, remember when they had that video of Ronaldinho going around where he was just like hitting the ball off the crossbar and right back to himself?
Yeah, and juggling it.
Right.
Yeah.
But then that was the doctored video, right?
Yeah.
Because it was for Nike or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so then I saw this video and it made me think immediately
Yeah.
of that. Like, is this real?
It feels a little doctored.
Do you think it's doctored?
It looks doctored.
It's hard to tell because it looks like a cell phone, but they could have made it look like that.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So let's watch it real quick. So there's a you could tell there's a ball thrower, automatic ball thrower there, right?
Right.
He's got the ball in his hand. So
He
there's,
throws it into the
yeah,
ball thrower.
and if it goes right back to him.
Wait.
He knocked it over.
He knocked it over and then shot it in the air. What do you think, doctored?
Oh, man.
I don't know, man.
Like that is some precision right there.
It's hard to tell, but if you stare at it too many times, it starts to look doctored.
It's doctored because Tom Brady can't catch.
We know that from the.
There you
We
go.
know that from the Eagles Super Bowl, right?
That's right. That's right.
We know that from the Eagles Super Bowl.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I thought the same thing. Like, damn, Tom Brady can't catch like that. But I thought that was cool.
My boy Foles called it though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just reminded me of the
It's cool,
Ronaldinho video.
You can't deny that man.
Can't deny that guy, man. I don't care. And I'm a Buffalo fan. I will
Yeah,
not hate on damn Tom Brady.
You've been
Took
in that
me a long
division.
time to get here.
Been in that division getting slaughtered.
Getting tortured by Tom.
All right, so this is something else funny that I saw. Let me see if I can find it, unless they took it down. I think they took it down, man. Yo, I think they removed it. Oh, they did. They did. So
Which one?
I'll tell you what it is. It was a video of, in South Africa, they were rioting.
Mm-hmm.
You guys heard about that? Like, they were looting all the stores. And they have different laws out there. Of course, like, here, there's a lot of things in place to tie people's hands on what they can do to stop looters and stuff like that. So there was a big mall in South Africa that what they did was they poured oil all over the floors in the mall. So there's a video of people like running in there to loot, and then they just all start falling and busting their butts, and they can't run, so they can't get anything. Like, it was hilarious. I saw it on Twitter, but
that's a good idea.
But you couldn't do that here, though. You can't do that because people would sue you.
Right.
If they get injured. But there's different laws out there. But I guess they took it down, man. That's annoying.
I saw them on TikTok too doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I saw people still trying, like they were like slipping around.
They can't stop.
That
All right.
Shouldn't be a law.
Here's something else I want to show y'all just real quick. This is this is bringing us back to one of the other streams where we had a bunch of vegans mad at us when we did the stream about veganism. So this is one of those raw vegan Twitter personalities, kind of delusional. The post says healing. Oh no! What does strength look like to you?
Not that.
Not that.
Yo,
is that her real body?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
man.
looks
That
like-
looks like some of the people we saw in that video, man.
She looks straight up
That
sickly.
looks like your body's eating itself.
Right. But big bowl of, raw vegan salad in front of her. Yeah. That's rough, man.
Need some steak up in there.
All right. So
she,
I got one.
She posts that proud too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of delusional.
Yeah.
When you look at that and you think, I look healthy. But this is kind of the place where we've come to now, where people get so wrapped up in their ideology that it blinds them to reality in a lot of ways. And you see it with a bunch of things, I mean, look at what's going on now with the jabby jab. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play one more
Stephanie
thing.
said y'all ain't right.
Yeah.
That's not veganism. That's anorexia.
Hey, listen, we did a whole stream on veganism, and a lot of them, especially the raw vegans, they start looking like that, and we got some people were mad at us for that one. So this video it got leaked or something, but this is some dude that they're claiming, I don't know how true it is, they're claiming that this is a suspected undercover federal operative trying to clandestinely coordinate the breach of the Capitol. Many in the crowd see what's happening and chant, "Fed, Fed, Fed." So you'll see, we know the story that came out. Like, it's been proven that there was a lot of informants there, and that there, a lot of people were tied to the feds that were there.
You ought to focus.
Oh yeah. Why am I out of focus? There we go. So let me play the video real quick.
Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol. No!
They're all saying no.
Peaceful.
Look, he says, "We got to go to jail for this."
We need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol.
Like, what?
Which is interesting when you think about, did you see the whole thing with them crying today when they were doing the congressional commission, and they played video from January 6th, and they were testifying with the police officers, and people were crying. It's like this whole
Oh yeah, that police officer was talking about getting tased.
Yeah.
Why don't you just release the video?
Right.
I did see AOC talking about it.
What was she saying?
I think it was like deleted scenes from some kind of CNN special she did, and she was saying that she, of course she feared for her life, but she felt like she was gonna get raped. Like,
Yeah.
Just taking it to a whole
nother level. Even though she was in a totally different building.
Mm-hmm.
Emma said, "What's up? What's up, Emma? Another
up,
one of
Emma?
our young lions and our soccer brothers." Stephanie said, "Or bulimia," and then she said, "Why is he taller than everyone else?" Right? That made him stand out even more. He's like way towering over everybody. But it's so
It doesn't seem obvious.
Nothing. I don't know about y'all, but when I saw it happening on January 6th, the whole time I'm thinking like, "Yo, y'all being set up, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You falling for it?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
The only thing that I don't like, yeah, they set it up, but the 80-year-old grandmom that's walking in, like, why?
Because
how many years did she get?
I think she's facing 30 years or something like that.
I think sentence.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, she didn't even do anything. You know what I mean? Like, but
She walked
you
in.
you have people that's throwing.
But because it's not about that, dude. It's about
the
pushing.
standards are.
It's about pushing an agenda and using a situation that they wanted to happen so that they could then use a situation. You know, it's the same, that clip that I sent y'all, where what's her name was talking about how the government uses these things to make us give up our rights. Like it's happened so many times. You know, she even brought up in the past when
9/11.
No, even before that, the one she was talking about.
Income tax.
Yeah, taxes.
Yeah.
You know, like they implemented income taxes because of a war. You know what I mean? But then it was supposed to be temporary.
Yeah.
And now it's like how many? It's hundreds of years later, and we're still.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
And people just.
And then it's just like that's life. Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Like our kids are gonna grow up thinking that things are normal. That we are like, yo, how are they doing this? You know what I mean?
Masks.
Exactly.
Normal.
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe they're not going to grow up that way.
Yeah,
Right.
not-
But what I'm saying is how they plan it.
That's how they. Yeah.
You know, and we talked about it with the whole the clip I was playing about Rockefeller and his strategy for all of this. This is exactly what he was trying to do, was control these ways. You know what I mean?
Consolidate power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul said, "Yo, fellas, looking forward to this Saturday."
Yo, Paul, man.
Paul.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you there, brother. Another one of our Young Lion, one of our Patreon members, Cash App supporters, all that good stuff.
And we got to get up with Paul because.
Yeah, I told him we got to figure out when we can get together to work on this song he wants to get done.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, the sixth thing. I mean, come on, man. You step over that line, like, what can you do? Like, they got you, and that's the thing.
And you can't say like, well, look at what they've been doing. No,
You fell right into their trap.
into the trap.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll let them get that off so that it puts you in a position to think, oh, now we're gonna do it too.
And it is like, not.
It's a double standard.
It's not just,
Yeah.
but that's what we've been dealing with.
Right.
Like, it's not nothing new,
Yeah,
we've been dealing with that on both sides. Like, there's injustice. Like, that's not what we're talking about. And you can't rage because of injustice.
Exactly. I saw this is something else. Talking of double standards, I saw this on Twitter just for an example. So it's all of the bring this up because this is what we're talking about. It's all of the news articles talking about COVID during the peaceful protests all last year and COVID during January 6th. And these are all the headlines. So it's like, the effect of Black Lives Matter protests on coronavirus cases explained. And it's like why it was good for COVID actually. You know what I mean? That they were out there protesting. And then the attack on the Capitol may have also been a super spreader event. And all of these outlets are doing the same exact thing. Where it's like when they report on that, it's like, don't worry about those protests. Those you won't get COVID from that. But this one is a super spreader. You know what I mean? It's like the double standard is obvious to anyone that's trying to.
So
eyes
don't
open at all.
engage.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Don't let yourself be used. That's why I went on that rant during the George Floyd protests about people being used for this greater agenda, because you see it coming. Like when you look at all the videos of these people dressed in all black coming up handing people bricks, these pallets of bricks laid out everywhere, like inviting you to make chaos, and you feed into it. It's like, I know for you feel like you're getting something off in the moment, or you feel like, oh, this is okay because it's justified in the moment, but you don't understand, like, you're just making yourself a pawn in this greater overarching plan that we're just falling right into.
And you have to understand that there's people there that you might see throw a brick from that pallet of bricks.
Yep.
And then you feel like, oh, he's doing it, let me do it.
That's the point.
You don't realize that he was planted there
Yeah,
to do that.
exactly.
So you do that, and then they do that.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And the thing, it just goes on and on.
It's just like all those videos of January 6th of those the dudes that came up and started breaking windows and stuff. It's the same thing as the George Floyd protests. The ones that started breaking the windows were not the protesters. The ones that started it on January 6th was some dudes dressed in all black with helmets and stuff. Like, it's so obvious what they're doing. They're herding us into these camps to then push these control agendas on us after the fact. You know what I mean? They can pass laws to infringe on our rights more and more and more, and put us in more of this
you belong over here,
right?
You belong over here.
Yeah,
it's easy to categorize you, to mark you,
right?
You know,
right? Yeah. Matter of fact,
facts.
Somebody tweeted. Let me see if I can find it. The 10 steps of genocide. I'm gonna see if I can find it because it goes right along with what you're saying. But keep talking while I look it up.
10 steps of genocide.
Well, did you see that the whole Whitmer thing?
No.
That was supposed to be the planned kidnapping. Turns out it was planted FBI agents in there.
No.
And
Yeah. There was like 60% of them were FBI informants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were informants. So it was like.
But that was another thing that when I heard it at the time, I was like, this sounds set up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just like the juicy smoulier.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem real.
Okay, here we go. Pull this up real quick, John. The 10 stages of genocide. So classification. Groups in a position of power will categorize people according to their ethnicity, race, religion, or nationality, employing an us versus them mentality. So think about it. That doesn't only apply to these categories here. It's any type of us versus them binary that they can force you into is the first step. And then it's symbolization. People are identified as Jews, Tutsis, whatever, and made to stand out from others, or they're vaxxed or non-vaxxed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
the new one right now.
They other you somehow.
She looks
you know
Cambodian right there.
Maskers, anti-maskers.
Because what's it take away?
It dehumanizes people.
Right, it takes away your humanity.
But look, this
That's
is
one of them,
the next steps. Discrimination, because now you have to create a dominant group uses laws, customs, and political power to deny the rights of other groups. If you're not vaxxed, you can't do what? You can't
fly.
You can't fly. You can't participate in certain things, concerts. It's creating mandates and laws and things that separate these groups.
They're doing that in the NFL now.
Exactly. That's another one.
Yeah.
So, and then the next thing is dehumanization. Diminish the value of a discriminated group is communicated through propaganda. Parallels are drawn with animals, insects, or disease. Maggots. What do we hear that all the time? Trump supporters are called maggots now.
And,
for MAGA or whatever. But you hear stuff like that all the time.
Paul
like,
just said the same thing: vax versus unvaxxed.
yeah, exactly. He gets it.
That's
I
the
know Paul
easiest
gets
right
it.
now.
Trust the science, fellas.
Yeah. Organization, a state, its army or militia design genocidal killing plans. Polarization, propaganda is employed to amplify the differences between groups, interactions between groups, or prohibited and moderate members of the groups. So, like, think about January 6th. Like, people hate Trump so much that they think it's okay to over penalize these people. You know what I mean? Like,
Not just hate Trump and people
anyone
who
who
follow him.
but what I'm saying is, like, that's the dehumanization of it, where it's like we're okay if you're all rounded up and put into concentration. Like, it's to that point where people are so divided that they would look at it like these people are so bad that they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? They deserve it.
which is a lie, you
Right.
know? And that,
But
and-
that's how you approach genocide. It's like you have to get people in a mental space where they think it's okay to round people up,
Yeah.
over prosecute them, even kill them. You know what I mean?
right.
Because they're so we lost you again. I think we might need a new mic cable over there.
Uh-oh.
It might be that one because
Check. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
What were you
What's
saying?
going on? I think, because of the people that's still locked up. Like, they're in solitary confinement.
Yeah.
They can't have access to anything.
Right.
And that's American citizens. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was a system.
It was funny because even Putin brought that out. We were like, y'all want to talk about me and what I did to,
Right.
but look what you're doing to the
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
that you don't agree with.
That didn't even wasn't
He
even
said some-
armed.
Well,
Yeah,
he said
he
these
something
are.
about oppression.
No, he
right?
said these are unarmed people that are protesting against a political position or something like that, and you arrested them. You know, basically saying you do the same thing.
Same thing.
You
Yeah.
know. So step 7 is preparation. The victims are identified, separated, and forced to wear symbols. Deportations, isolations, and forcible starvation. Death lists are drawn up, and you know about this from Cambodia.
Yep.
They're doing that in the NFL, trying to make them the unvaccinated wear yellow wristbands,
Yes.
and they have to get
Seriously.
tested every day.
Yeah. This is
and
crazy.
the rules are like y'all know that you get vaccinated, you can still spread it, and you can still
Catch it, still
still
spread it.
Yeah.
catch it, still spread it, and
But
it can be an outbreak.
people
But-
don't understand that the players hold the power in this.
Yeah.
If they just get together and don't play,
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna.
But they
can't
know-
play.
But
But
they
they
know
know-
they're messing with their money.
Exactly.
But that's
You
my
know?
point. Like, are you willing to?
No.
They're
That's-
not.
Yeah, exactly.
them.
The opportunity.
That's where
Yeah.
that's where we lose because people
We're caught up in the system.
exactly, and they
Yeah.
know that they know they have you. They know they have you so caught up in the system. You don't want to lose out on
They were going to try to because Cole Beasley was the first one.
I was just about to talk about Cole Beasley, y'all. Like he played for the enemy.
Yeah.
He played for Dallas Cowboys,
Cowboys, but he went to Buffalo.
But he went to Buffalo. But this dude,
But-
I've been reading his
But
tweets.
now, Cowboys quarterback,
Dak Prescott.
I think it's Prescott, and another Deshaun Watson, right? Yeah, they all are not going to.
Did not get vaccinated.
They're not getting
Oh, okay.
vaccinated, so it's picking
Yeah,
up.
once
steam.
once the stars say they're not doing it, they lose all.
Yeah.
They lose
Which
their
they
stronghold.
should. Like, how you gonna?
Yeah,
They
you
need
can't
Tom Brady.
force that.
They need Tom Brady to step up.
Yeah, it doesn't take everybody,
No, yeah, just
but people have to make a stand. Like,
Mhm. It's not okay.
and know, like, okay, this is something we gotta stand. It's not about coming against somebody.
Yeah.
It's just about making a stand.
and it's not about being anti-science or
Right.
being anti-vax. It's not
Yeah.
about that. And I hate it's like you have people so afraid because of what the mainstream media is doing, brainwashing everybody, that it puts us all in another position where it's like people want to force. It's like peer pressuring you into doing something that we don't really know what the
Yeah.
the outcome of it is. You know what I mean?
You don't know the long term. We don't know the long term's effect.
I mean, there's still
vaccine.
How many reported side effects and problems have there been? Over 400,000, something like that.
Yeah.
And this is like unprecedented, that amount for them to still be forcing something upon people with that many, adverse effects.
They stopped the Johnson & Johnson
Again.
vaccine with 6.
Yeah.
I mean, initially, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
6
people with
or
blood
6
clots.
cases
6
had
women,
blood.
Yeah.
And they stopped it.
Yeah.
Why aren't you stopping the whole thing? It's
Right.
You got how many thousands of cases?
Right.
And then you
Yeah.
still don't know the lasting effects on the human body. I think it's population control.
Right.
They're stopping. The,
I mean, Bill Gates
reproductive
told us.
system.
I mean, this is just all opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, my bad.
We are not.
Legit.
We are not giving people medical advice. Please ask your doctor for your medical
I'm
advice.
vaccinated.
Anyways, my mom says she went to the eye doctor and they asked if she was vaccinated.
And okay, thanks. Yeah, that. I mean, it's just what everyone's doing now. It's like we all have to just be forced to do something when we don't really like. It doesn't make. It's not adding up. It's not adding up. Like how are all these people that are double vaccinated now getting sick? And they're calling it the Delta variant, but another problem with that is like they're not testing for a different variant. How do they know which variant they don't know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know. So it's just all of this weird.
Israel's is the second most vaccinated country, and they're fully vaxxed.
Yeah.
Over 40% reinfected,
Yeah.
hospitalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude from
I mean,
Australia.
it seems like, I don't want to compare it to the flu, but, that's how the flu was. Every year, it would be a new vaccine, right?
Yeah.
And Pfizer's, it turns out, from the Israel data is 39% effective, not 95%
Right.
effective.
Right.
It's not like 0% like how Joe Biden told us that if we get vaccinated,
You have
there's
0% chance.
likely
of
chance of us getting sick.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just
Spinning.
crazy when you see
Keep spinning.
like where everything is being pushed. And
Paul said, "Trust the science."
They did say that.
Fall in line. Accept the science, the regular science of virology that says the virus comes out, you get herd immunity. Maybe the vaccine helps.
Oh yeah, that was the article you sent, right?
What?
Talking about
The adverse side effects.
side effects.
Yeah, the VARS system.
yeah.
Yeah.
But a virus's job is to what?
No, Paul said they have them by the footballs.
Yes.
Stephanie says she likes your shooting club shirt.
Ah, thanks. That's down in Winslow, New Jersey.
She says she is TWAW and IDPA, whatever that
What's
means.
that mean? I don't know.
Is that some shooting lingo?
Yeah, I think that's a certification.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at this, the biggest thing that people use is fear.
Yeah.
It's fear tactics.
Mm-hmm.
And, my own shirt says, "You are not your fear."
You are not your fear.
But you are your fear if you allow that fear to overtake you.
Yeah.
And fear is the tactic, especially when you look at the Bible and the way God frames it, the way it's framed in the Bible. It's like fear is the thing that if it infiltrates, you've already lost,
Right.
And like it says, God didn't give you a spirit of fear, but of love, of power, of love, and a sound mind. So if you succumb to the fear, you can't guard yourself
Right.
in the right way, and you're going to let in anything. And that's the key, is to take the ground, it's to take over you. Because think if you're afraid, whatever you need me to do, I'm going to do, Once I'm afraid, whatever.
Yeah.
See, that's an infiltration of my body, because now I'm going to do.
You know how many comments, like when I pull up these like articles or like people post stuff all the time about, vaccines, about studies, Australia, they're, bunch of cases, only 2 people were unvaccinated, you know what I'm saying? But all the comments, you'll see people just like totally unhinged and enraged, like, just do what they say. Just do what they say. You know what I mean? Like,
well, to me, that's like, again, I mean, anybody, like the story of Jesus, and the disciples, they're on the water, they're on the sea, they're like, we're about to die. Like, wake up, Jesus. And then he speaks to the waves and says, peace be still, but he rebukes the wind. And that's the key. Like, the people are afraid because what's being spoken, and that's the wind. That's the winds or the other spirits that are trying to push people in a direction. You know what I mean? And the waves are roaring or raging. That's the people. People are raging because they're looking at you and they're mad because you're not taking in this spirit that wants to infiltrate you. Like I was saying, this fear, so like people are raging. And so when we engage, like the battle isn't against the people,
right?
God said peace to the water. People need peace. Peace is something you have to take in, but that's, again, you got to take it in. You got to accept it. And he rebuked the wind. That's because that's the thing that's trying to drive people in a direction. It's the spirit behind it, or it's the motivation behind it. What's trying to motivate you? Motivation has to do with how you feel. So it's like hitting your emotions, making you feel anxious, having anxiety, and then doing something. And think about it. Like, how many times people say, oh, I did something, and then you think about it later, I really shouldn't have did that.
But regret,
in the moment, you get caught up in that moment,
Yeah, and I think everything that we watch, everything that we see is designed to hit that emotion. Constantly, to get you to do something. Whether it's just buy a product, whether it's just, think a certain way, whether it's to do something the government wants you to do.
Telling your neighbor.
Whatever. It's like, we're going to hit you with ways. And it's like they use the sad music in the commercial.
Yep.
The one with the dogs where yes. I was thinking of the
that's
same
kind
thing.
of like what you're going to go into and what we were talking about, because what has been happening is we've been programmed by programming, to judge situations based on how it makes us feel.
Right.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad, because now it's like whatever I feel is right.
Right.
Which is, no, because somebody's manipulating your feelings. Come on now. How many times people will, like, all you got to do is look at people and how people just in life will try to manipulate you to get something from you. They don't care about you. They just want one. So they'll give you a sob story. You know what I mean? Just to get you to feel bad for them so you can give something up to them.
Yep. I remember out here all the time, dudes would come up and give you this whole sob story about, man, I just got out the hospital and my dog died and they about to take my foot and I need
and then you offer them food and they're like, I don't want that.
You want
I want money.
this tray? You want this tray?
Yo, we got a whole tray of chicken right here. Nah, man, I'm diabetic, brother. I can't even eat that. But if you got $5, like. All right.
I thought you said you was hungry.
No, I remember one time.
I'm a vegan.
This dude.
Wait, you can't afford to be a vegan.
Yo, but there has been dudes like that. Like, oh, no, I don't eat meat. But I remember one time, and I'll never forget this, man. I was leaving here late night one night, and right at the corner on Haddon and Benson, about to turn left, some dude comes up to the window. He's got the hospital gown on.
Yeah, I was right behind you.
Yeah, he's like, I just got out the hospital, man. I just need some money to get the bus. The ambulance took me here. I have no way to get home, blah, blah. And he seemed like he had a little slowness to him. So I felt bad. I gave him $5, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, cool. the next day, the same dude comes up to me with the same story. And I was like, man, you don't remember me from yesterday? You hit me with the same story. And he just kind of ran away. But he had the gown on still and everything. Like, that was his whole thing. Like, that was his little sob story. But again, it's like pull on they want to manipulate just to get something in the moment. But that's all learned stuff. That's programming. That's what we've been programmed to do. It's the snake oil salesman. You know what I mean? The same thing with the Rockefellers. Like, he taught his kids how to go into an environment and sell people based off of their emotions. You know what I mean? And you have to set up the trick. It has to be elaborate so that people feel something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. And that's what we see all the time.
And feeling is about spirit, you know? Feeling is about spirit. It's about wind. It's about breath. How do you make people feel something? You articulate it. That's why art, visual art whatever. Is used.
Movies, music, visual art, all kinds of things. Did y'all see that clip I sent y'all of Dave Chappelle doing the AIDS commercial?
I didn't get to watch it.
Yo. First, let me shout out Paul. He said, "Perfect love casts out fear." Exactly.
Yes.
No, but I sent y'all that clip because I was, going through a bunch of old stuff because we're going to get into Star Search and how we grew up with that. And that was, the precursor to American Idol and all these things that this generation has been indoctrinated with. But when I was looking through all that stuff, because Dave Chappelle was on Star Search.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Dude, so many people that we consider stars now were on Star Search. It's unbelievable. Wow. And I was like, yo, did they was this like Inception? You know what I mean? Where it's like put the idea of this name so when you see it later, you know what I'm saying? Like it rings, something about it rings a bell. Justin Timberlake, you know what I'm saying? Like, really? Dude, I'm going to show y'all some clips.
Wow. Yeah. Britney was on there too.
Yeah. Tons of people. Yeah. Usher was on there. Usher won Star Search. Martin Lawrence. But anyway, what was I saying? I forgot.
We don't know.
Oh, the Dave Chappelle clip of him doing. I came across that clip of him in the '80s doing some rap about AIDS. Matter of fact, y'all didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it, man, because this is crazy. Let me see if I can find it.
They about to get us for something?
No, this is old, dude. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, they gonna get us. Yeah. The Matrix is gonna get you.
Oh, here we go.
The rhythm is gonna get you.
Spending prospecting.
But when I watch this, dude, I'll wait till Jake gets back before I play it. When I watch this, what you were saying about population control, I was thinking about, because Fauci was in charge of the whole AIDS thing too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was his hero. See if we gotta get that mic.
He took control.
Yeah, that's weird.
Check. There it is.
Go. Yeah, he was main one in control of that whole thing and coming up with he wanted to come up with a vaccine for that as well. But the whole message of this rap song is, first of all, super cringy. Second of all, it's like I started thinking back about what were they pushing during that time?
Right.
It was contraception. It was wrap it up because you could get AIDS. What is that? All of that is stopping people from having kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all of that was
to slow it down.
Like it's just like I started thinking like, yo,
that's true, man. I didn't even think
like
about that.
because they always use something.
Right.
Because when you really do the research on the AIDS epidemic, there's a lot of weird stuff about it, which is same thing as what's going on now. There's a lot of things that didn't add up. So then you start thinking like, yo, they're doing the same thing now.
Just with
it's
COVID.
just this weird way of controlling the number of people that are born.
Shout out to Tia.
What's up, Tia?
What up?
Yeah. So anyway, this. Yeah, I came across this. I'm gonna play it. Get y'all reaction.
Man, she wants me. She wants me. She came up to me. She goes, David, I want you.
Oh, she did. Yeah.
She sure did. Man.
Another thing I thought before we finish watching this is like, yo, because think about Martin, Dave Chappelle, like all these people, they always like, and they're not 100% clear about it, but they always had this weird breakdown where they disappeared for a while. Something crazy happened. They ran away from everything. And now they're kind of like accepted back into the system. You know what I'm saying? But what they're talking about lines up with what the system wants them to talk about. You know what I mean? So then I started thinking like, yo, why was he getting so many opportunities? Because he was on Def Comedy Jam. He was on BET. He was on all the late night talk shows. He was on Star Search 4 times, Dave Chappelle.
Wow.
So like, you know, you start, and he lived in D.C. I don't know, dude. You start get you thinking.
He's planted.
Man, people been telling me she been shooting up IV drug user, man. She might got AIDS. AIDS. You know what AIDS is?
So?
So, AIDS kills.
Kill some people. Maybe she does, man.
It can kill you too.
Look, I'd like to die that way. A lot of things can kill people, man. Bullets kill people. Car accidents kill people. Look at where we live, man. Here it is. The disease called AIDS, so we got to keep in check. The way we behave, it hits men and women and the young ladies, rich and poor, gay or straight, and the babies. There's too much ignorance, folks don't know the deal. Never once thinking how the victims must feel, because when you're well, they say they love you so much, but as soon as you're sick, they're afraid to touch. The cops wear gloves like their bodies are fume. Now come on, officer, the person's just human. There's a drug. It's called AZT, and the folks with AIDS need it immediately. It's the ignorant ones who really seem to be
Did Fauci fund this commercial?
The ignorance kills.
Control your Jimmy, control your Jimmy. AIDS are gonna take over your society. Control your Jimmy, control your Jimmy.
Control your
AIDS are
Jimmy.
gonna take over your community.
Yeah, so AIDS, because AIDS will take over your society, your community.
Yes, sir, the Marcus on the mic, me a chatter. Jim Muskie have to wear a hat. No go ignorant and don't go like a fool. The Marcus on the mic and the no send me a roll. Control your Jimmy, control your Jimmy. AIDS are gonna take over your society. Control your Jimmy, control your Jimmy. AIDS are gonna take over your community.
We can say I love you when I love
Okay. It goes on and on.
San Francisco.
It's
Yo,
cringy.
But it's cringy, but it's also like weird. Isn't it weird? Because it's always like, okay, how do we get the blacks on board with this? Let's do a rap commercial with beatboxing. And it's like
They did the same thing.
they do it all
Run
the time.
DMC.
It's the same playbook, bro.
Yeah.
Freaking Juvenile.
McDonald-
Backs that thing up. Like, did you see that video we played a Juvenile backs that thing up? Like, bro, it's the same playbook.
That's why black people eat McDonald's so much. They do all that.
But it's also like, that's why blacks were the most afraid of AIDS, right? Like, when you think about it, like, it was like pushed in it to them more. But that's why I'm like,
Because they don't want them to
recreate population control.
And that's with the COVID thing now. It turns out they tried to say it's the right, extreme right, it's the Trump voters.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's mostly the black community that doesn't want to get
it.
vaccinated.
'Cause
Yeah.
all this whole time they've been told, watch
Don't trust the government.
Don't trust the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The government. Did you hear when Biden said black people don't want to get vaccinated because of the Tuskegee Airmen? The Tuskegee Airmen.
Come on, man.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Stop talking. Just stand there and wave.
Yo, nah, but that was a super cringy commercial.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, so that was when I was researching all this stuff about Star Search and stuff like that, and then I started thinking like, yo, this dude has always been in the circle. Like, he's been given a lot of opportunities. He's been in a lot of movies, TV shows, and stuff like that. And then he had the breakdown that he had. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. But I want to play a game. So we're gonna go into we're gonna go into this whole thing about how we are pushed these shows that force us to judge people based off of their talents or whatever.
Like
right?
American Idol.
American Idol, but when we were young, it was Star Search, The Gong Show, things like that, where like, and first of all, women are mostly obsessed with these shows. So I'm gonna play some clips of people that y'all know who are stars from our era that were on Star Search as younger people.
I can't wait to see.
Okay.
And see if y'all can figure out who's who. Let me see. Let's bring it up.
Any comments before you go?
Any comments before I play this?
Tia said it's been a while since she's been on here. How is everyone?
We're doing good.
Gina in the house.
Gina, what's up? Let's see. Anybody in the comments, if you think you know who these clips are before anyone does. I know who everyone is because I researched this, but let's see if you guys can figure it out before anyone else
Paul
does.
said, hold up. Paul said Chappelle never put on a dress like all the others, though.
He never put on the dress, but he did a rap about AIDS. Very bad one.
I would have.
That was a lot earlier, though.
We love you too, Gina. We miss you.
All right, let's play this first clip. All of them are only a couple seconds long, so you only have a couple seconds to figure out who this is. Here, ready?
Dude, it's so... I mean, Justin Timberlake.
I'm going to say him, yeah, because you already said it. So.
You guys are right. It's Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake doing country music.
As a baby.
He is from Memphis, right?
Yep. Yeah. Justin's from Memphis. But that was, man, and guess what? He lost.
I mean, judging by that.
Matter of fact, all the people I'm about to play lost.
Oh, wow.
So that's the funny thing about when we talk about judging and how, like, these judges are like these things. Everyone watches these things because they want to be in that place of like, well, I think that this one is better than like. No, it's all based off of nonsense. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Kathleen Stiles says hi, guys.
Hi, Kathleen. See if you can guess who these people are before these guys get it. Next one.
Christina Aguilera. I can already get
you know, because she does the same
trick.
Same tricks. Again, lost. You guys got that one quick.
That was like the same era, too.
Yeah, same era.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Aaliyah?
Yeah, Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, yep. Aaliyah. When you hope it.
When you hope it.
Wow.
Okay. It's Aaliyah, yes. All right, here we go.
Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's check the next one.
Comments to myself.
See if y'all get this one.
I can't see.
Kelly Kapowski.
Brenda K-Star.
Brenda K-Star.
I don't know.
Y'all want to see it again?
Hold on, yeah.
Y'all
I mean,
wanna
it's
see
hard
it
to
again?
see, dude, because it's so little.
Play it one more time.
See if you can go full screen, John, for them.
Gina said, OMG.
1990, guys. Y'all know all the black ones. That's the problem.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No guesses?
Hold on.
Oh, play it again.
Yo, and this is the funny thing is this what she's doing is so different from what y'all know her from. That's why.
Alanis Morissette.
Yo, he got it.
Wow.
He got it. He
How
got
did you
it.
get that?
Yeah.
He got it.
I don't know how you got that.
He got it.
I
Alanis
wouldn't
Morissette.
guess
Okay.
Like, and I'm here to
Wow.
remind you. Yeah. Fun fact: did you know that song was written about Uncle Joey from Full House?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like together, and when they wrote when he cheated on her or something, she wrote that song.
Okay.
Uncle Jesse?
Uncle Joey,
Joey. Oh, Joey's the...
not Uncle Joey. Joey, the guy, the
Yeah.
guy that played Joey, whatever his name is.
That was
cut,
Uncle.
cut it out, dude.
Yeah, cut it out,
Cut
guy.
it out.
The comedian.
All right, we got another one. Well, this is from. Well, no, I'll show y'all that one later. This is There was one more. Let's see.
Ed McMahon.
Kathleen said, "No way."
I think this is one here. Okay, here we go.
That's the country singer. I forget
What's
her name.
What's her
I
name?
forget her name.
Leanne
Leanne
Rimes.
Rimes.
Nope.
Really?
The other white country singer.
Dude, that is Leanne Rimes.
No, it isn't.
McIntyre's too old.
Who is it?
Reba? That's too old.
That's
Say it
not
one more
Reba.
time.
That's
Anybody
not
in the
Reba.
comments?
That's
Anybody?
Leanne
In the,
Rimes.
Wait.
Anybody in the comments want to take a guess on that one?
That's definitely Leanne Rimes, dude. If you think it's
Leanne
it's
Womack.
not, you're wrong.
No, it is. It's not.
Who is it?
It's Shania Twain.
That ain't Shania.
That is not
It
no
is.
Shania Twain.
I'm telling you, that ain't Shania Twain. She's
Yo.
too young, first of all. Shania Twain would not be that
Yo.
young
Young
at
at
that
that time.
She's too young. Dude, that's Leanne Rimes.
Oh, I'm
she looks
pretty
too
and
much
sure-
like
Shania
her.
I'm
Twain
pretty
is
sure it was Shania
is
Twain.
dark hair.
Nah, yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's definitely
Because that's why I was wrong on Reba, too.
Hold on.
'cause she's got
Let's
dark
let's
hair.
look up a picture.
All right.
That's not Shania Twain. She had brown hair when she was a kid.
Oh, I thought it was Shania Twain.
Yeah, that's definitely.
But
That
Just-
looks like her.
just look up on Star Search.
Yeah. Leanne Rimes Star Search. That's the same
Same
exact
clip
guy.
that
Okay,
came up.
y'all was right.
Nice.
My
Come on,
bad.
man.
My
Good
bad.
job. Look at Jake. Got him.
All right, I got one more. I got one more for y'all. Let's see if y'all can figure this one out. Y'all better figure this one out.
Whitney Houston.
No.
It's hard to see.
Go full screen, John, for him. Like, this one's so obvious.
Is it?
Is it?
Go full
In
screen,
the
John.
90s. How old is Janet Jackson?
That's not
Is that-
Janet. That's not Janet.
That ain't.
That's
can't
not
be
no. Girl from Fresh Prince?
Nope.
Tatiana.
Tatiana Ali. Nope. One more time.
Anybody?
I can't tell, dude. Wait. Oh, that's Beyonce.
Yep. That's Destiny's.
said
That's the
Beyonce,
whole
but-
Destiny's
Oh, okay.
Child.
But that was Beyonce.
Oh,
right
your
there.
mic wasn't on, John. I couldn't hear you. That was the whole Destiny's Child, but at that time they were called Girl Time.
Wrong anyway.
Wow.
Huh?
So I was wrong.
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
I ain't repeating myself.
Yeah, that was.
Let me see it one more time. It
The
don't even
whole
look like her.
Destiny's Child.
Yeah, I see Beyonce.
Definitely Beyonce in the front, of course.
Wow.
They got that 90s.
That's the
style
yeah,
dance.
and even the track sounded like what's the group ABC?
Oh.
Another Bad Creation.
Another Bad Creation.
Like the
Yeah, ABC.
production sound like their Michael Bivins stuff.
Gina said Oprah.
Oprah. Oprah was way older than that in the 1990s. Yeah, but
That's hilarious.
Yo, and like when I was just looking up, like going down the rabbit hole, there is so many people that were on Star Search, yo.
Wow.
That we don't realize. Like I said, Usher won. He did like multiple episodes.
That's crazy.
And all these people
So-
lost. Destiny's Child lost. They all lost.
Okay. So what's the point of you showing us this?
Well, just to show that, like, when we were young, we were
getting programmed into this
idea
these
of
things.
watching these people perform and being in a seat of like seeing who the judges pick and who
What's good, what's not good.
and people converse over who's better than the other and who should actually win. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So it's been a part of the culture.
Yeah, and not only that, it was Showtime at the Apollo was a big thing. That was this other clip I was going to show y'all. Pull this one up, John. Showtime at the Apollo was even more rugged because it was like if someone wasn't good, what happens?
You get booed.
You get booed off
And
the
then
stage. Sandman comes.
with the hook.
So I'm going to play this clip of Lauryn Hill at 13 years old.
Wow.
Okay. Now, we all know Lauryn Hill, multi-Grammy award winning, amazing singer, songwriter, everything.
How old are you, Lauren? you singing?
Who's loving you?
Who's loving you? Well, come on, Lauren. We're gonna love you. Sing for us.
13 years old.
Getting booed.
Yeah, they booed the crap out of Lauren.
Damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
Like,
all
you
it
think
took
about
was one.
Right.
Boo.
But think about it, like her being that age, being 13 years old, like what that could actually have done to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stephanie said, y'all know Lauren Daigle, I don't know how to say her last name, got rejected from American Idol 3 times. So she's a really good singer.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it doesn't. We know we've been on these shows. We've been on these.
I was gonna
judging
try to
shows.
play a clip of Top Pop Group but I couldn't find one.
Okay.
Just to show like our experience with it as well. We've been on that. We've been on a show
that type of
like
stuff.
that. We even did the America's Got Talent stage. You remember when we tried out in front of Howie and Sharon and Pierce, and you know
we got on the show, but we ended up not doing it because
the contract was ridiculous. It was like signing your life away. It's like another form of slavery. You know what I mean? Which is what a lot of people don't realize, what you give up to be a part of these things, to put yourself on this platform for people to judge you and pick you apart. You know what I mean?
Right. And what they found out, like Star Search, it kind of was in there, but later on, what people found out, especially with the whole reality TV, is people were drawn to the stories.
Yes.
So again, they were tugging, like we were talking about earlier, tugging on those emotions.
Right.
So they were looking for people who had hardships, been through something, had struggles, have been victims, you know.
Right.
Those were the stories that would really hit people and tug at people's emotions. And then you get, they get my vote. You know?
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that they have the ability to do what they're meant to do. And that's where things get convoluted, you know, because especially with like a voice, when you look at the Bible, when you look at how when you look at how God like speaks about it, carrying that voice that comes from God, carrying that roar, you know, young lions, carrying that roar, it's supposed to be with a power, you know, the anointing. So like people say, oh, you're anointed, you got anointed voice because you can sing, you know, which isn't necessarily true. And then we look at people who can sing, and we got people who are being like, even in church, like we got people who are, they're great at what they do. So now you can be a singer or a worship leader in the church, but you got a lot of stuff going on in your life that don't line up, you know?
Right.
And that's the issues we've been having. Like, so if we're allowing that in the church, we've been already programmed, you know, by the world, and we're judging wrongly. We're not able to discern the voice of God.
Right.
We're not able to discern who is humble or not, you know, true humility. And so we're looking at it like, look at their story. Look what they've been through. They deserve this, you know.
Right.
And that's not necessarily true.
And also we're not seeing the bigger picture where it's like you were saying earlier, like they're using these things to poke on our emotions so that they keep our eyeballs, which then feeds their machine of getting advertiser money or just, you know, enriching the platform.
The system, really. Enriching the system, keeping it, because it's not really, they're forming the story, the narrative. they're constructing the worldview.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're just raising people up in that worldview that they're constructing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we don't realize. And then we're being participants in that,
Right.
as we watch, as we judge, as we vote, you know, and all these things.
Right.
We're just participating.
And that's where they really like figured out something, where it was like, you
Right.
can be a part of it. Your vote
Right.
counts.
Mhm.
Call
Yeah.
in and vote for these people. It's
Right.
like, then you felt like, oh, I'm a part of this.
Right.
Like, so I'm connected to their story, like, and now I can
You're
be
connected
connected
to them.
to their win.
Yeah, if they
you
win.
know?
Yeah.
Right. And so what is happening, like, you're exalting people.
Mhm.
You're putting people in a place or on a platform.
Well, it was called
know.
American Idol, right? The first one.
Idol.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's the opposite with God. Like,
Yeah.
he exalts us.
Right.
You know, it's not based off of the things we do. It's based off of trusting in him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And a lot of people feel like they deserve a platform, and because they have a story.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you have a story doesn't necessarily mean, like,
Or
everybody's
because
got a
they
story.
have an ability.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You have an ability, but that ability has to be tried.
Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but how did you feel when we were on MTV? I mean, I kind of know, but like we never really kind of opened up about it. What was the feeling of being on that stage every week and having to perform in front of the judges and the whole experience of it? And then the America's Got Talent thing when we were in front of those three. Because it makes me think of the whole Black Mirror episode that I want to show a little bit of.
I know for me, it was like, at that time, I believe that we were still a part of the system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were seeking God. We were
Right.
praying out there. You
Yeah.
know, we were learning, but we were still caught up in that system.
We were still holding on to being in the system.
Right.
And being accepted into that.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to be accepted. Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, because.
But didn't it still feel like, for me, I always felt kind of like a dancing monkey up there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
That I felt the same way. I was just about to say that. I felt like it wasn't us.
Yeah.
Like but
it really wasn't though.
Yeah.
Like
No, it wasn't.
they were trying so hard, and we held our ground a lot. Like
Right.
way more than a lot of those groups. Like we held our ground a lot on what we were and were not willing to compromise on, but we still gave in a little bit. Like
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
with the outfits they made us wear, the songs they made us choose.
compromised,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it was like. But a lot of the other drama, and this is something that people don't really know about these shows, is like a lot of the other drama we didn't give into, where it was like
I was just going to say that. Like,
Yeah.
you were talking about
the story.
having a story behind
Yeah.
it, but on the other end, or now they figured out that
Right.
drama draws people in. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
can we get
Exactly.
Moan to say something
Right.
about Jake, or can
Exactly.
we get Jamie to, you know? what I
And
mean?
they tried.
And they tried. They
so
tried.
much.
They, especially with him, because
Mhm.
you know they try to push him like he was, you know,
Yeah.
the
the
leader.
leader.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel, you know, about you singing lead all the time, and now, you know,
Moan missed his
step.
yeah.
And we were adamant about, no, our story is that we love each other.
Mhm.
Our story is that we really do love each other, and that we are
Yeah.
real brothers, and we like, this is what we love to do. Like, we love music. That's our story. Why can't that be our story? And they constantly, I think they really thought that we were pretending.
Yeah.
They really thought that we were pretending, and they thought that all they had to do was create scenarios where they could turn us, you know, somehow into some drama-filled thing, because it worked for a lot of the other groups.
Right. Yeah.
So it was like, just you know, pull
I-
one of
I-
them aside and tell them that, you know.
I'll never forget what Dalita said to me one time. I don't know if you guys were around, but this must have been like a thing amongst everybody,
Uh-huh.
the way they thought about us. Like,
Right.
It's an act.
Well,
Like,
she was
they-
part of one of the groups.
Yeah. Our friend, she became a real
She
good
just
friend.
hit me up on Instagram like 2 days ago. Actually, she said she's moving to New York.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
boy, but not to.
but anyways, like we hung out with her a lot, and she saw that we were cooking together, eating dinner together.
I was
washing our clothes together.
When she saw us washing our clothes together, she was like, she said to me, she was like, "Man, you guys aren't acting right."
Yeah,
You guys are really.
I was gonna say, I thought that was like didn't that get broken? Because I thought the producers seen that and was like, oh, they really do live like this. It's not an act.
No, so what happened
producers
was
really didn't get a chance to.
The producers
see us like that.
were just trying to dig
okay.
for drama. Every time they were around us, it would be like they had a camera and they wanted to talk to us and dig up some
They
stuff.
already had something.
And we wasn't giving them
in their
nothing.
mind, yeah.
They knew we wasn't going to give them nothing.
Yeah.
But no, what it was Elaine. Remember Elaine? Elaine was the one in charge of
She was like the wrangler.
She was the wrangler, the coordinator of the
Okay.
groups off stage,
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, she made sure everyone was where they were supposed to be.
Okay.
So she would call and check in on people to make sure they were, doing
In the rooms or-
And with us, she would always call all of our rooms, and we wouldn't answer, but she knew that we were all in someone's room. So she would call and finally get all of us, and she'd be like, "You guys are always together." She was like, "Really, you're really washing your clothes together? Really?" At the same time, you guys are washing your clothes.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, because what else do you want us to do?
Right.
We don't hate each other. I get it.
And that's what they wanted.
Yeah, that's what they wanted. They wanted to know that. Oh, but really, y'all all say. She used to say this too. Like when we first got there, she used to say, "Yeah, everyone loves each other when they first get here." You know what I mean?
But even the producers, it became hard for them to ask us questions after a while, because they you become friends with people. You become friends with what are they called? The PAs, the production assistants.
Yeah.
You become friends with, because they're taking you around everywhere. You become friends with some of the producers. So then it's like they gotta ask you these questions. So I remember they would be like, "Okay, we're gonna ask you these questions. We know you guys are gonna not answer them or not answer them the way. So we'll just ask them and then get away from that."
Give us a little.
Just give us what you can. I remember the one dude, I forget his name, the dude with the bald head.
Yeah.
But he ended up telling us that if they can get someone to cry or fight, they get champagne bottles, they get incentives. You know what I mean? So they started telling. After a while, you're around these people for months, so it's like you start to get to know each other. And I think once they realized we were really genuine, and he really picked up on it because he was in the room when they were trying to get me to say some foul stuff. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm not saying that. I'm not doing that. And they're like, no, it's not like that. You can just say, nope. I'm not doing it. You're not gonna, no way.
Right.
I said, why don't we get everyone to come in at the same time and we can say what you need to say? Because they wanted to have me come by myself in a different room and start some drama. I already know what they're trying to do. So,
Wow.
Because they want the story. Shout out to Gina. She said, "And I love your story." Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was the truth. Mm-hmm. They did go into a little bit of our backstory with our growing up with our dad and our mom and that whole situation. They went into your backstory a little bit. Mm-hmm. But, that was real life. It wasn't like we were trying to be something we're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
yeah, we still had to go through it, and it wasn't easy, but we definitely prayed a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We prayed a lot, and it was something that we had to learn how to deal with. And then when we did America's Got Talent, we were kind of over it already.
Yeah. For me, that was worse.
We were,
That was for me, I just felt like being, especially with Sharon Osbourne up there and just having to let them judge you. You know what I'm saying? That was to me, it was
because it's not genuine.
Yeah.
And we know that. If it hadn't been for we got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
it would.
Were you there? Were you there? When
Yeah, I
we
was
did
there
that?
for that.
So
Yeah.
you saw like we
Yeah.
got it. We like the crowd loved us. We got a
Mhm.
standing ovation, you know. But they got to make it a show.
Yeah.
So they go through their whole thing, and you know.
Yeah, but it's just not. How do you judge in that manner?
Yeah.
You know, it's not right.
Yeah.
It's not right. It pulls people in the wrong. It not only the audience, but even the people who are performing.
Yeah.
And it just twists what it's about to be a voice, because that's what you are. Like when you're singing, you are a conduit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
What are you giving yourself to?
You're an amplifier.
Yeah.
Right.
And what are you singing about?
Right.
You
The
know?
voice is the original instrument.
Right.
You know, that's the only instrument created by God.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember, like when I watched that Black Mirror episode, it mirrored my feelings of America's Got Talent. That whole vibe of being backstage and everyone's practicing their routines.
Yeah.
And like you're in the room with everyone and they're like me, and everyone's practicing their routines. And like you're just waiting. And then they call you out, the Wranglers come, the PAs call them, they bring you out there and they're like, yo, okay, we're ready for you now. Okay, you're walking to the stage. And then Nick Cannon's there and he's like, remember Nick Cannon talking to us and he's like, so what y'all do? Okay, oh, that's what's up. All right, get on out there. You know what I mean? It's just like, we're just
I know the answer to this. Were you guys like nervous? Because I remember being there, like, because
I was annoyed.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I'm like scoping the room.
Yeah.
And I get that feeling like, yo, they're so nervous.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I was annoyed.
I really don't want to do this.
Yeah. It was not annoyed. Like at that point, we were more like we were a little jaded.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
like is this what it is?
Right.
Like, do we have to continue this?
Yeah.
Like we didn't
Right.
even want to go.
Right.
You know, but we did. And then even when we got like picked, it's like, you know,
Yeah. Even when we got picked for MTV, do you remember when they were like,
You guys gotta act more.
Can you guys
It's like-
act a little more excited? Like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna film it again.
Yeah.
We need you guys to be more excited than this. Okay. It was like,
Because it was like, okay, cool.
you're right.
Next.
Yeah. It's like, all right, cool.
That's been our thing though.
But
Yeah.
but it's
Like-
been our thing because it's never what it seems.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we
You
already
know?
go into
Yeah.
it knowing that.
Find my way.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
What's the second verse, Jamie?
In a world that doesn't care, you try to find your purpose while you're here, but somehow you get caught up in your dreams, and what you thought is never what it seems.
And what you want is
What you
never
want is never what it
never what it seems, and that's the key. Like our dreams get twisted because we're continually
programmed.
being programmed. It's being put before
Right.
us constantly over and over again,
Right.
to the point where you start to just succumb to this, and then you start to move in that. Right,
Right.
you're motivated by that. Again, the wind.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you realize like it's empty, the wind, you know what I mean? It's an empty seed. It's an empty, you know, it's hollow inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, it's going to go into the ground. It's not going to produce anything. Like it's BS.
Yeah.
So you start to see this and you're like, it's all vanity.
Right.
It's all in vain. I'm doing this in vain. I'm going through this cycle. We're doing this thing. We're all hyped up because, oh, this might be it.
Yep.
Nope.
And
This might
for
be
a
it.
lot of people, the dream is to be on that stage in front of
Right.
Howie and Sharon and Pierce, and you're like,
Yeah.
we're here. And
Right.
It's like for us, it was like we already know what this is. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but we're still like, maybe this could be something. Maybe this could turn into something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Because you never
And
know
we
who,
go-
who you can meet. And,
Exactly,
you know what I
and we
mean?
go into it as it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, can we overcome this new obstacle that's in front of us?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know, like, for y'all, we weren't nervous to get up there and sing. They made us do a little Bruno Mars song, but for me, it was like I just didn't want to mess up the piano. You know what I'm saying? Because this was like one of the first times where I was sitting at the piano and
By yourself.
by myself, and I'm starting everything.
Yeah,
you
right.
know what I mean. And then I got to
Did a
play
good job.
and sing. I didn't mess up at all. You know what I mean? Which is, it was
Yeah.
that was the only
was
thing
new.
that I wanted to make sure we were doing something new.
What do we sing?
We sang Amazing.
Because you're me. Yeah.
But when you think about like how many people, not just the shows, how many industry people we came in contact with even before that,
right.
met, you know, the people like we just had Lauryn Hill, the person who got Lauryn Hill, all her, like we've been in contact with so many people, so many labels, you know,
right.
and you meet these labels and you meet the A&Rs, you meet the heads of the A&R, like, and it's just like, it makes you sick.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing over and over again. And you go in like with some hope.
Yeah.
But then when you realize it's all empty.
Yeah.
You know, it's all in vain. And then it's like what we've been running for is not, it's pointless.
Yeah.
You know? It's pointless. What am I fighting for? What
Right.
am I holding on to?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Trying to prove myself.
Yeah.
And that's
empty, exhausted, my breath's run out.
yeah, that's the point, and that's what the enemy wants. Because
Right.
then it's like you're gonna give up. That's the roaring lion too, right?
Yeah.
Ezekiel 19. Because what happens? You get brought into chains.
Yeah.
That chains, that's slavery, never to be heard on the mountains
Right.
of Israel again.
Right.
That's the high places, right? That's God exalting you, but you're brought down
by the contract.
You know,
That's the contract.
yeah, because
Bringing you down.
you're brought down and you succumb because you've been doing it so long. You don't want it to be in vain, so then you just give up.
And a lot of it is also because you want other people to see you as successful.
You don't want to
too.
look. You don't want to look shame. Like
you don't want to feel shame.
you don't-
Like
yeah, you don't want to look shameful. You don't want to look like.
how many times when we were out selling CDs? How many times when we were on tours? People, what would they say? Oh, you guys should be on American Idol. You guys should be on America's Got Talent. You know, you should try out.
Yep.
You should try out.
How many times do we hear? Oh, y'all still doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all still doing y'all little music thing? You know what I mean? Like how many times do
Right.
we hear these things over and over again? Why do people say that?
Yeah.
Because their idea, you know, and before that used to like piss me off. It used to annoy me because it's like, you don't know what I've been through.
Right.
You don't know what
we've accomplished, what we've
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
But then it's like, they don't need to know.
Right.
You know, that's what I started realizing.
And where they're coming from is their own programming and idea
Exactly.
of
What they think.
any of this means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so like that, the key to it is like, and this is what I think we miss as Christians sometimes. It's like faith comes by hearing, right?
Yeah.
It's our vision. It's you got to have the eyes to see, you got to have the ears to hear, right? That's you're open to the Spirit of God, right? And then you're joined to Him, right? That's faith, right? That's walking towards Him. That's receiving Him. But then you got to die. That's what real Thanksgiving is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's thanking. When you're thankful for what He's done for you, you die.
Right.
You die to everything you want, what you desire. And that's what we've been through with this whole experience. In this, it's like we wanted one thing and we went for it the way we thought it should be. And all along the way, we were learning how to die.
Right.
To our own way, our own desire.
And deprogram all of that.
Yeah, we were being deprogrammed as we gave
die.
ourselves up to and
Those ideas,
became more and more obedient to what do you want, God? Because you start to see vanity,
Right.
You start to see
And you start seeing
pointless.
the ones that we're around as we're on tour, as we're doing bigger and bigger things, the ones that we looked up to and said we want to do what they're doing, you start realizing they're not fulfilled. That's not the end goal.
They're insecure.
Right.
They're unhappy.
inside.
They're snapping out at everybody.
Right.
It doesn't change anything. You know, you get this platform,
Right.
but it's within the system.
Mm-hmm.
It's within
And
that
you're
system.
still you have been enslaved and compromised in a way that you didn't even see coming.
Yeah.
Real quick, James said, "What do you got?" Shout out to James Garcia, not here, but he's chiming in. First of all, James, we're talking about people being obsessed with like judging shows, American Idol, you know, America's Got Talent, and our experience there. So I know you have opinions on this because he's talked to me about it before. You know, he just says it's middle-aged moms that want to vote for shit. That's what he said. What do you guys think would have happened if you won from the industry perspective? How would that be for you guys? if we won America's Got Talent, well, I mean, like we looked at that contract and we know what that would have been. Like,
well, I was going to say that the first obstacle was you playing.
Right.
Second obstacle was behind the scenes in the contract.
Yes.
It's like here.
That thing was like this thick.
Yeah. Here's the contract.
Right.
All
Okay, you guys made. Are you
gonna
guys
do it?
excited?
Yeah.
You're going to Hollywood, or where was that one in Las Vegas?
Las Vegas.
You're going to Vegas, guys. You're on the show. Okay, here's this stack of paperwork. Just have this filled out.
Just
and
sign it.
Yeah. So it's like
Prick your hand and sign it with blood.
Yeah, you got to go over that
It's
and
like,
look at
nope.
it. And when we realize, like, it really is like they own you
for years.
They own you, even if you don't win the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, so if we had one that, you know, nothing would have changed. I think.
Are you talking
for us,
about American Idol or the?
No, America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent.
I think for that, like,
American Idol.
nothing would have changed for us mentally, but it would have changed for us. Like, I think we would have been in a position that our hands were tied.
Yeah, we would have had to do things that we didn't want to do.
Exactly.
And that's where we kind of kept the standard, like, because we've been offered deals, we've been offered little things here and there, but we kind of kept our standard. And that's what, but we kept hope that somebody was going to see and want to agree with us completely, which is stupid,
right?
You know, or I would say foolish, because they're in that system. How would they want to agree with us when we don't want to be a part of that system? And they're like, in order for you to be a part, you got to give up. You know what I mean?
Right.
This stuff. So
this is what you got to do, guys.
Yeah,
you got to play the game.
Yeah.
I think if we had won the MTV show, it wouldn't have mattered. Like we would have got that $100,000 and, you know, spent it on some stuff.
Something stupid.
Not something stupid.
Just,
I don't think we would have spent it on something stupid. I think we would have spent it on like trying to advance what we were doing.
Right.
But that's what all it would have been. That show really didn't. It was one season. It got canceled early. It really wasn't a platform that people were paying attention to yet anyway. So it was not anything that was going to catapult us.
Right.
Like we were a final. We were just the runner up. So it's like, you know,
if it would have been something, then
we still would have got recognized.
You know, it's funny. When we were on that show, I don't know if I even told you guys this, but somebody did prophesy to me that we were going to lose. We were going to come in second place.
For real?
Really? We weren't going to win.
Oh,
and
you never told me that.
While we were there,
Who did?
Wow.
Tim.
Wow.
And I didn't want to hear it at the time. You know what I mean? But you know, I don't know. It was just something like, you want to win. You want to. So I don't want to hear it. But it was just funny when it came to be. I didn't know how it was going to play out. You know.
Some of that is nature. Nature.
But the point of it, I think, is that a lot of times you move in a way where you think the outcome is going to be this way, or you want it to be this way. Your desire is for it to be a certain way, and then you can be so let down because it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to.
Right.
And sometimes it can take a while to recover from that, you know. And it's really, when you think about it, it's all about how you saw it, how you envisioned it, which is off,
right?
You know. And God allows us to go through that. He's like, okay, I'm going to give you what you need, not what you want, because that's what's best for you.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times we create this idea of what it's going to be based off of a whole imaginary scenario that we've set up from watching it as a viewer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Like we see these people on this show and it looks like their life is so great and they're up there and performing and people are cheering and clapping for them. And it's like, wow, I wish I had that. Like, that must be so amazing. But you have no idea what's really going on. You have no idea what that entails, like what they're going through. You know what I mean? And I think, like for us getting to see that a little bit with the stuff we've been involved with, it allowed us to not be so mesmerized by it that we just fully gave in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
Because that's the point of it, for you to be so mesmerized by it that you fully give in, and now you can be enslaved by the thing that you're mesmerized. And that's what this Black Mirror episode kind of goes into. If y'all haven't seen it, This is the episode that made me get hooked on the show. It was because the first episode of season 1 was kind of crazy and weird.
Yeah, that was the
one with the politician and the
Prime
pig.
Minister,
Yeah. But this episode was the second episode. I'm gonna just play it in the background while we're talking. You can pull it up, John. And it's called 15 Million Merits, and it stars the dude that ended up being in Get Out and Judas and the Black Messiah. You know, he's an award winner now, but no one knew him back then. But his acting in this episode was so good that it made me hooked on the show and the premise of the show. It's like this dystopian future where people this thing after he does his whole speech, and it's like, yo, the acting that he does is amazing, right? So the guy that's supposed to be the Simon Cowell guy, he goes, that was the most emotional thing I've ever seen. And they're like, so they act like that was his performance.
Right.
And then they're like, we want to give you your own show. You know what I mean? Where you can go on these rants and you can talk to the people and tell them how messed up everything is. And then you won't have to ride the bike anymore. So he's standing there looking and he's like, and then it flashes away, and then it goes to another scene where all the people are riding the bikes again, and then one of the guys clicks on his show, and he's over there holding the glass to his throat, and he's just doing a rant, but it's just a show.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So now he
keeps all of the rest of the people under that same.
So he's the one that found some truth, and they're like, all right, now we can use that. You know what I mean?
And
but we can control it.
That's what kind of happens over and over again. And even going back to judging and what you were talking about in the beginning, American Idol, Star Search, but it's about how good you are at conveying emotion or articulating emotion, right? The emotions that you're feeling. That doesn't necessarily mean that what you're feeling is right. It's just that it's real.
Yeah.
It's genuine. You're good at articulating those emotions, right? It doesn't mean that it's good.
Right.
It just means that it's genuine in terms of how you feel. And that becomes the thing that is pushed. And then it becomes because what was genuine now becomes an act.
Right.
Right. It becomes a performance. And that's what happens a lot with so because it's not like when you think about all of us have been born into sin. All of us have a story.
Right.
All of us got hardships. All of us can genuinely have emotions based out of the things we've been through in our lives. But that doesn't mean we deserve a platform.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
yeah, God chooses who deserves the platform.
Right. Why? Because we're still under slavery.
Right.
The all those feelings come from us being under that taskmaster. And so if we might bring them feelings up, and he's just going to use them for his own benefit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And give us, okay.
Paul said taskmaster is good too, because I said that by
taskmaster
mistake earlier.
And that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
So we become like.
You become a now used by the
system. You become a puppet.
Right. And that's what happened to him. That's what happened to him. And the show ends with him, taking that. Now that piece of glass that he found that he was going to use to make his statement, they gave it to him in a little case, and he does his show and he puts it away, and he gets to live in his bigger. It's just a bigger room with more screens now, with a view of a fake outside. Yeah. You know what I mean? Instead of just blank screen.
So that's why if we're judging based off of emotion, we're not seeing the spirit behind the emotion.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We're not seeing what's driving that emotion.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Like, emotion is based off of spirit. It might not be the right spirit. And if it's not the right spirit, then it's not the right master. Right? And so the point is, when we are set free from this, what we're born into, right? We're set free from this taskmaster, this master, this thing that we're born into. Those feelings, those emotions get reconciled in Jesus so that we're shifted to carrying his spirit, right? And that's a whole, now we see emotionally through his eyes. And that's why we die. That's why we learn how to die to our own feelings, our own emotions, our own desires, right? Because they're not worth anything until we see it through his eyes, until they're reconciled through him.
Because before that, our own desires are corrupted by all the programming, all the things that we've been born into, the sin that we've been born into.
Right. That's why, like, I don't care if you're genuine. Like, cool, I can use that.
Right, I can use that.
Right. That's why artists get used all the time. Like, I can use that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's about the genuine article, right? Because emotions show the spirit. So if we reconcile ourselves through Jesus, now we carry his spirit, and now our emotions are the genuine article of how he feels, not just about us, but about everybody else.
Right.
And that's the thing that can take people out of slavery. That's how we carry the voice. That's how we carry the articulation of God. You know what I mean? That's the roar, you know, that we're talking about. That's the thing that sets us free.
That's how you get from under the law.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why he knows how to exalt us into that place and put us before people at the right time when we have been reconciled to carry his voice, to now go into the world, you know, and not engage in the wrong way. Because there's an engagement. That's what I was kind of showing me today. Like, there's an engagement in warfare, right? But we don't engage men and women in the same way we engage the wind or the spirit or the enemy, right? We don't war against flesh and blood, but against powers, principalities. So our engagement in battle is not against people. Our engagement in battle is against the enemy. But there's a different engagement, and that's about marriage, right? So our engagement in the world is about proclaiming the love of Christ that wants to marry you to him. You know what I mean? That's a different engagement. And so that's where we go. But first you gotta rebuke the wind like Jesus did. You know what I mean? You gotta know how to separate spirit from soul. Because if you don't, you're not gonna get the truth. With the soul, that's where the true essence has to live. You know, that's where the spirit has to live. And a lot of times we letting something live in us that's not his genuine article.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Good, man. All right, let's wrap it up there, guys. We're gonna end this stream in a few minutes. We're gonna continue talking for Patreon.
Yeah, what are we gonna do just so people know?
Yeah, so if you're a Patreon member, we're gonna be posting up the actress China. What's her name? China, right?
China yeah.
something.
She did a video talking about her thoughts on the Trinity. So we're going to discuss that a little bit and get everyone's thoughts on that, and we'll put that up on Patreon. We're trying to like save the Patreon for more in-depth stuff, like more serious stuff, more teaching.
Going a little deeper.
Yeah. So if you want to hear that conversation, you sign up, subscribe on Patreon, become a member. Also, if you want to just support, you want to support this podcast and what we're trying to build here, the kingdom, the Young Lions. We appreciate all of you that are members. Don't forget, you can donate to Cash App as well if you want to just throw a couple, slabs of meat to the Lions. Yeah, Cash App is $YoungLionTV. Also, patreon.com/YoungLionTV if you want to become a member. YouTube, look up Young Lion TV on YouTube. Subscribe on there. Jatan.com for merch. Don't forget, we have a show on Saturday, July 31st. We're performing with Joy and Peace Ike at the Gathering Place in Philly, in Germantown. It's going to be a nice show. You can get tickets on the link that Jake posted in the chat. It's the Eventbrite link. And yeah, we love you guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next week. We're out of here.
Young lion, go live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah.